Buddy, this Saturday, June the 21st, we're going to be right down there at Anderson Street and Pacific Coast Highway, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. for our surf fishing extravaganza. And guess what? You are invited. Come on down. Watch the dolphin play in the surf. The yellowfin croaker bite has been coming on. There's a lot of perch around. There's more and more halibut here in Orange County. So bring your lucky crab lures or your chrome crocodile and get ready to have a wonderful day. Whether you want to go for a walk on the beach, bring the kids to play in the sand, or get serious about catching some surf fish and hanging with the Freedman Adventures family, we're going to make it happen right there. You can park on this side of the street right down by the tower. If it's all full, just go right across PCH and park over at Peter's Landing. What a day it's going to be. Lots of fishing, lots of fun. Stop off at Big Fish Bait and Tackle on your way down, and we'll see you this Saturday. That was a beautiful bluefin tuna caught in the daytime on the new low end as things appear to be headed in the right direction. We've been catching some really good bluefin tuna. It's still a case of the haves and have-nots, but it seems like there's a lot more haves going on right now. Check out some of the fish caught on board the Polaris Supreme last night. They finish up their 3-day trip out of C4 Sport Fishing in San Diego with 108 bluefin tuna for 18 anglers. That is great fishing. Limits of bluefin tuna. Several other boats with some really great fishing, but we do have some weather on the way that we're going to have to keep our eye on. It's going to get rough offshore Saturday evening. Take care, my friend.
The 500, we literally could just talk about this today, guys. This is going to be the newest, biggest thing on the market right here. And it's going to have all brass gearing. So the all brass gearing is basically going to be a little bit smoother. A lot nicer overall in my hand, smoothness and capability for like things like surface iron, bigger live bait, stuff like that. Still can throw smaller stuff too. I was throwing a lot of the A-rigs for the Barracuda on it and everything, really getting a good test out of it. It has a 7.6 gear ratio. This is going to be a lot better overall for just throwing those bigger irons, even for throwing, you know, some of these poppers, the clear poppers for bluefin and everything. We've put it through its paces. We've got 100+ pound tuna on them to prove it. It can hold around 250 yards of our 65-pound J-braid, so you're going to have more than enough capability and 28 pounds of drag, so you'll have more than enough power to stop one of those big monsters. It's in a left and a right hand retrieve, as you can see here. Pretty much tackle anything you want in our West Coast saltwater scene. It can even throw real light stuff too. I was just testing the capabilities, trying to pitch out little anchovies, and it actually can do it. Definitely had its share of love for me on the boats, so it's done the trick really, really well.
Cedros Sport Fishing with Toro is reporting slower yellowtail action at Cedros right now, but that didn't stop one angler for setting a new record for the island. The biggest yellowtail ever taken on a surface iron on Cedros, that 66-pound monster. Yellowtail fishing has been average here recently, but there's been a lot of big white sea bass, and they have been biting really, really well. Add to it some excellent halibut fishing, and even when the yellowtail fishing isn't that good, it's still pretty good down at Cedros Island in Mexico. Lots of sea bass, some big halibut, and high hopes that that yellowtail bite's going to turn on really soon, but it's all punctuated by that magnificent catch of a 66-pound yellowtail. That is one big lunker forky. Nice going, guys. If you follow Freedman Adventures, you know how much I love Mexico. The fishing, the culture, the people, all of it is so great. And at Blackfin Sport Fishing in Punta Banda, near Ensenada, they've been having some outstanding bottom fishing. But it's all about the Baja hospitality and the culinary feast they're going to put together for you. Albert Ponce, Freedman Adventures family member, is there right now enjoying that Baja hospitality. Let's check it out with Albert.
Look, Phil, you got the blackfin? Your Victor chopping up?
Yes, indeed. They are chopping up and headed for a culinary masterpiece that you're going to love. You can sit and have a cold one, bond with the guys you just went fishing with all day long, or in my case, have a cup of coffee. And look what awaits you at the end. Please don't forget to support the Freedman Adventures family members who make this all possible, like the taxman, Tim Marquez, and your garage door man, Joe Welker, who does a great job and gets rave reviews here at Freeman Adventures. Heating and or air conditioning needs, it's our dear friend John Lopez. And also the Island Spirit, Ventura Sport Fishing. You can't beat it. Chris Isaac and the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing, www.longbeachsportfishing.org. Good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. It's a little breezier this morning. It doesn't have that summer-like feel to it. But man, I got to tell you, Bob Osborne and Tom Raftigan right here where I'm standing, straight out. So you can take a look around here. There's the playground here in Surfside, California. Right here a moment ago, they had 6 leopard sharks and a dozen barred perch. They went to Big Fish Bait and Tackle down on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. They picked up lugworms and Berkeley gulp, and they had some fun fishing. Now, let me tell you, those were not the biggest leopard sharks in the world. Those were those, 8-inch, 10-inch leopard sharks, little guys. Same thing on the bar perch. They were all small, but it was action, and it all bodes well for tomorrow because we'll be down there, right there where you see that tower. That's Anderson Street, Pacific Coast Highway, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. We will be there waiting for you for a fun day at the beach. Man, is there a lot to talk about. Gosh darn, that 66-pound yellowtail. And I'm so happy the Bluefin Tuna bite for our friends from the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club on the Pacific Voyager was pretty darn good. And they mixed in some yellowtail and calico bass. Man, that's good stuff. And Isaac Parcells, along with his son Ethan, on the Voyager. Ethan with his personal best, a bluefin up there at 100 pounds. A lot of other great stuff going on, including some good bass and so much more in Ensenada. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Delicious and a lot of great stuff going on, including a little bite they had down here in the surf. May not be huge fish, but like I say, it was action, action, action. If you don't mind, hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it when you do that. Nice warm water here in Southern California. Warm for Southern California. It feels like 62 degrees if I had to take a guess with you all. Once again, subscribe to the Freeman Adventures YouTube channel. Tick that rotten, filthy, disgusting, despicable little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. Also, make sure you follow us over there on Facebook, on TikTok, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Great morning here. Can't wait to see you all tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Let's get into it. We'll start with Mexico, 66-pound yellowtail at Cedros Island. How can you beat that? Talking to Cedros Sport Fishing with Toro. He said the yellowtail bite really has been off recently, but they filled in nicely with white sea bass and halibut, and they're still catching some yellows, and it was all punctuated by that magnificent 66-pound big fish. That is great stuff. How can you beat that? Let's bring it up to Ensenada, only 70 miles below the border, where there has been some really great summertime fishing. Now I'm talking bass, barracuda, a few yellowtail here and there, not that many, but the water temperature down there, Captain Ihara from Lucky Sport Fishing, she does a great job. You ought to go fishing with Captain Ihara, Capitana Ihara. Man, I'll tell you, she says the water temps up to 68 degrees, and she thinks the yellowtail bite that we've all been waiting for is right around the corner. In the meantime, there's good bass fishing, calico and sand bass. There's a few more halibut, occasional white sea bass down there. And of course, tons of rockfish, as you saw in our blackfin video. Albert Ponce, the man who wins so many of our raffles, it seems like, and a dear friend of mine. And he's always reaching his hand across the border to do something good for our brothers and sisters in Mexico. I had outstanding days fishing with lots of rockfish down there. And of course, they came in and were provided by that culinary feast. Blackfin sport fishing out there on Punta Bana. There's a lot of great operators, but we absolutely love Blackfin and we love Albert also. Things are looking much better down in that neck of the woods. We're going to take a look now at long range fishing. It has been absolutely spectacular. Whether it's yellowfin tuna, whether it's bluefin tuna, whether it's great yellowtail action, and also some fun stuff along the beach with a few halibut and white sea bass. It's all going on for the 8-day trips out of San Diego right now. Great yellowtail action yesterday on board the Independence. Previous to that, they'd already put the wood to the yellowfin tuna. It's been great. Some of that YFT up there in the 80-plus pound category. Others are those 20, 25 pounders. But it's great action, really fun fishing. And the long-range thing can't get much better than it is right now. Several boats in on it. All the guys down there who are on these 8-day trips right now, you know, XL, Vagabond, all those guys, when they are down there fishing. XL was actually up here fishing bluefin, but I'm telling you, they are having phenomenal fishing right now. It can't get much better than it is. Nice, clean water here. I'm waiting for a Corbina to swim by, and man, there's that nice trough where the water gets nice and deep here. I don't know if that's where these guys were fishing or not, but there's some nice structure here and some really excellent fishing. I'm thinking we are going to have a fun morning tomorrow morning. All right, let's talk about our bluefin tuna. And I got to tell you, it is really starting to come on. Unfortunately, we're going to collide with some very windy and rough weather. Some guys have thrown the towel in, and I think even the big boys, the Cadillacs, you know, the long-range guys, might have a little bit of difficulty in that weather, but they are pretty good at what they do, and they'll gut out that snotty weather in many cases, and that bluefin will bite right through it in many, many cases. So hopefully that's going to be exactly what happens. Polaris Supreme on a 3-day great trip, 108 on the bluefin tuna for limits out of C4 sport fishing. Our buddy Jeff Lingle, who runs a yacht, was out, and he said, man, it was tough in the beginning. The weather is definitely coming up. He's on a yacht, only 4 guys on there. He ended up with 3 bluefin tuna all over the 100-pound mark. The Pacific Voyager with our dear friend Chuck Zimmer from Z Custom Rods. Z Custom Rods. Z Custom Rods had a great trip. They ended up with 30 bluefin tuna on their trip. They also went to the island and just had spectacular bass fishing. 70 calico bass, 20 yellowtail at the island also. So really, really great stuff going on. That was a nice hit for those guys. And Matt Rock from the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club. Check out that gorgeous BFT. Way to go, Matt. That is a trophy fish, and I'm so happy for you. And a couple of other great Freeman Adventure family members were out on the Voyager out of C4 Sport Fishing in San Diego. It was Isaac and Ethan Parcells, father and son team. We love those guys. We're hoping they're going to be here Saturday for our event because they always add so much fun. What a great trip for Ethan. He ended up with his PB bluefin tuna, a BFT up there around 100 pounds. Can't beat that. I think Ethan is 10 years old. I always mix that up, 10, 11 years old. I think he's 10. He really carries himself like a kid that's a lot older. And man, what a great catch. Excellent fishing. They had multiple fish for the father-son team and really good stuff. We're going to get some photos in from them as soon as they get in. They're almost in to Point Loma as we speak. Great stuff. And there were some young people on board the XL, and did they have a fantastic bluefin tuna bite last night. Excellent fishing, 50 plus on the big bluefin. That's the thing about this fight. You know, we can't lose sight of the fact that these are such trophy big fish. Really magnificent fishing on the greater fish. We are getting way too accustomed to making these big catches. This is so special. We are so blessed, and it was a great night. Some guys missed, most guys got in on this. It was really, really good.
but that weather is coming up on us right now. We'll have to see what happens, but it is getting quite nasty as we speak. And as I mentioned, some of the smaller boats have thrown the towel in for the weekend because it's quite nasty. We'll talk about that as it pertains to the Channel Islands here in a moment also. Let's talk the islands and Coronado Island. Water is beautiful. Coronado Islands, a little bit of yellowtail down there. Every once in a while we'll get a zip, and by that I mean, 6, 8, 10 yellows, something like that on one of the San Diego-based full-day boats. There's plenty of bass there if you want to focus in on the bass. There's a hit on the barracuda and the bonito every once in a while. There's plenty of rockfish if the guys give it a really good try on the yellows. They can fall back on that rockfish. At San Clemente Island, there's yellows there. There's calico bass. It's not too bad. It's not every single day you really hammer out a big score on the yellowtail, but there's been some of that big grade stuff. The Thunderbirds had some of that. In fact, dear Freedmen Adventure family member Alan Offord was on board a 2-day trip on the Thunderbird and got his first halibut. Alan, way to go, buddy. So happy for you. Alan's a great guy. Get to see him and his lovely wife and kids over there at the Orange County Fair every single year. They make sure they come by and visit me at the Baja booth that I'm in over there. So really great stuff. Alan, way to go. Seen some pretty good scores there at San Clemente Island. May not be wide open, but it definitely seems to be headed in the right direction. We are loving what we are seeing there. The Amigo fishing one of the local islands here. 25 white sea bass. Really great fishing on board the Amigo as they had 4 yellowtail to go along with that. So that is good news. And at Catalina Island, we continue to see really good variety. The Sport King again with a good hit, 7 yellowtail. We've seen a few more yellowtail there at Catalina Island on a fairly regular basis. There's been pretty good calico bass fishing, especially if you drop that fluorocarbon down to 15 pound and choose a really good hot bait. You can really hammer out some excellent catches of fish by doing just that. So keep that in mind. Hot bait, lighter line, calico bass all day long for you. I guarantee you that you will have the time of your life. Cat looking pretty darn good. And then up there in the Channel Islands, man, oh man, what a year it has been. You just can't say enough about that bite up there in the Channel Islands with all the halibut and white sea bass that have been caught. Now we're starting to transition into a few more yellowtail being taken. Barracuda, bass fishing's good. The Channel Islands, man, it has been such a great place to fish for many years, but it just seems like the past 5 years or so, it has been absolutely off the hook. Aloha Spirit, 12 guys, 14 white sea bass, a halibut. Gray Light, 6 anglers, 11 white sea bass, 4 yellowtail, a halibut for them. The Mirage, 21 guys, 5 white sea bass. Endeavor, 19 guys, 18 white sea bass, and 6 halibut. The weather is starting to come up. They had some of that yesterday, and it is pushing that bite down a little bit. But even given some adverse conditions, it's still pretty darn good fishing if you ask me. Right now, however, it is really getting windy. We'll see how that all plays out. The Island Spirit on the local scene up there has been catching great amounts of rockfish, but they've also had some pretty good halibut fishing. They are out right now. We'll see how we do on the Island Spirit today with Captain Daniel Hadaway. That should be very, very interesting to see how they do. Up the coast we go. Up there in Santa Barbara, just a little bit of white sea bass. They're dealing with weather, but good rock fishing up there. Monterey, Avila Beach, up there around Morro Bay. Great rock fishing going on. And up there in San Francisco, the bite continues to impress with great striper fishing and some good halibut fishing. Lovely Martha sport fishing up there in San Francisco. Limits of stripers, 16 halibut. A great day yesterday, no doubt about it. Let's look at our local situation, and it's been pretty darn good. We're seeing more and more bass show up here, and it has been really excellent. Down there in San Diego, that calico bass bite for the 1/2 and 3/4 day guys right now is fabulous. And once again, I'll take you back to choosing a good hot bait, dropping that fluoro down to 15, maybe use a small little slider. You pin an anchovy on there, that will help you to cast it. Make sure you hook it up through the mouth, closing the mouth up through the nose, and toss it out there. And I say that, you can gill hook it, you can butt hook it, but I say that because when you reel your bait back, and I like you to pump your bait back, raise your rod tip, let it go down nice and slow, you will catch yourselves some really great calico bass on the retrieve. So keep that in mind. Really great bass fishing down there. Excellent action around Dana Wharf. Also, we've seen a lot of that. Down there, out of Davies Lock in Newport Beach, Western Pride's been all over the sand bass here recently. And we had a whole bunch of guys on board the Monte Carlo yesterday. Really full boat, and all the Freeman Adventure family members came out to play. Mackie was there, and the dog was there. Cliff Hughes was there. Really having a lot of fun. They put the wood to the sculpin, had great sculpin fishing, and then they, on the way in, decided to give the bass a little bit of a try. And man, if you were doing what I was just saying right now, Cliff Hughes said every single bait, calico bass, calico bass, calico bass. It was really good. And Michael Limon and Dan Lightfoot were there. Cliff Hughes wants me to ask Michael Limon a question this morning. Michael, how did you let a 5-year-old kid outfish you yesterday on the calico bass? Michael, what happened? This is Cliff Hughes talking now. I'm just an instrument of Cliff Hughes right now, Michael. So don't punch me the next time you see me. 5-year-old beat you, Michael? I don't know whether to exalt the 5-year-old or say, Michael, what happened? It sounded like a really fun day. Cliff's a lot of fun. A lot of great people out there. And sculpin fishing good up there in the Santa Monica Bay. We're seeing more and more bass. Also, there's been good sand and calico bass, especially on the twilight trips. At night, that's been pretty darn good fishing. So our local bite is definitely improving. We haven't had that big, huge hit on the Barracuda yet, but that's coming. I really believe that. This water feels so nice this morning, and the clarity is beautiful. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is just gorgeous here this morning. Beautiful morning. We're anticipating a lot of fun tomorrow. I'm just praying that a corvina would swim by or some other fish here while we're looking together. Hold on, we'll give it one more try here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And it should be a gorgeous day tomorrow down here. I am totally looking forward to it. Wayne Shima Bakuro. Man, it's good to see Wayne Shima Bakuro back. He was down there around Bolsa Chica and had some good bar perch fishing. And then I already mentioned to you that Bob Osborne and Tom Raftigan were right here at daybreak. They were here at 5:15, and they caught a bunch of small leopard sharks and about a dozen bar perch. Once again, they went to Big Fish Bait and Tackle right down there on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. They picked up lugworms. They picked up their Berkeley Gulp, and they had a good time. And Big Fish Bait and Tackle is just a mile or so from where we're going to meet you tomorrow, where that tower is, Anderson Street and Pacific Coast Highway. Park over there, or you might have to park on the other side of Pacific Coast Highway and then walk straight out, and you'll find us there, and it should be a lot of fun. It's a little breezier and it's a little cooler, so dress in layers is what I would recommend to you. So you can take off your sweatshirt if the sun breaks through, and who knows how long we're going to hang out, at least till 9 a.m., probably till 10, because I think the high tide's at 8 a.m., so we'll probably be hanging out until that time, and it'll be a lot of fun no matter what. I will toast with you a cup of coffee. I'll be doing the morning briefing live. You'll be part of the video, and we'll get to hang out tomorrow together. That should be fun. Up there in the Santa Monica Bay, we continue to see some pretty good corvina action there around the Topaz Rock Jetty down toward the Mondstadt Pier, bar perch and yellowfin croaker, along with some pretty decent showings of some halibut up there around the El Segundo area. There have been some good halibut fishing here and down around 72nd Street. We'll see how that all plays out. Man, there's a lot of people already down on the beach there. So you can anticipate very few people tomorrow early, and then the beach will start to fill up right when we are finishing up with our day. It is gorgeous here, everybody. Another beautiful day in Southern California. And it was so great to bring you so much. That 66-pound yellowtail. There's some good fishing at Catalina Island. Don't forget the El Patron is headed out there, and they have several definite go days. You can find out about all that by going to www.longbeachsportfishing.org. We've got our big day here on the beach tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing you. And of course, I'll keep you in touch with breaking news all day long. That's why you want to be on our Facebook page, on our Instagram page, our TikTok page, all of those social media platforms where, on Facebook, we had 1.6 million. It keeps growing as we go along. 1.6 million views in the past 28 days. By the way, our Desiree Rodriguez podcast is almost at 1 million views. Man, was I blessed to be a part of that. That is a tremendous video. I hope you get a chance to check that out one day soon. Take care. Have a great one. I'll be out here walking around a little bit later. I heard from the dog. I can't remember the name of the gentleman, but a man is driving in with his son, I think, from Arizona to be part of our surf fishing extravaganza tomorrow. But he's here walking the beach. He's going to try to meet up with me around 9 a.m. here on the beach. So I will definitely come out and see if I can't find it. I mean, come on, all the way from Arizona. I've got to throw myself at this guy's feet and thank him. And I sincerely mean that, as I want to thank each and every one of you for your great support, for all the likes, and for everything you do for us here at Friedman Adventures. Take care. Have a great one. And I hope to see you really, really soon.